The Detroit Lions have done a decent job the last 4 years under Bob Quinn to find talent and identify the biggest spots of need on the team and fix it with some quality players. Fortunately for the team, there have not been too many mistakes in the draft, but there have been a few errors to note that Quinn has made at this point in time. Here's a look at some of Quinn's most questionable work in Detroit, the likes of which he will try to avoid in 2019 in order to keep the Lions on the right track for years to come. The good news? The Lions haven't had tons of disasters, especially early in the draft, to note. Limiting those is a huge key to building a roster that can sustain success. Here's some of the frustrating moves the team has made. 1. Jimmy Lance, LS. There is no other way to spin the selection of Lance in the 2016 draft as a failure. Lance is end in football, much less with the Lions. Meanwhile, the guy that Quinn tried to replace in Don Mulbach is going stronger than ever, having been resigned for 2019 and having just come off a Pro Bowl appearance. This selection showed a touch of Quinn's arrogance in his first draft. Nobody drafts a long snapper, much less in the 6th round, and makes it work. Quinn would likely admit to this being a mistake. He took a lottery scratcher and it didn't exactly pay off. 2. Tease Tabor, CB. The book still hasn't been written on Tabor's career just yet, but it's safe to say the Lions need him to make a big turnaround in 2019 and start to show some signs of being a second-round selection. So far, that has been hard to come by given Tabor has struggled in a big way. Worse, he's been outplayed by recent veterans and undrafted free agents like Mike Ford. The team could make an addition at cornerback this year, and Tabor is facing the heat to deliver, or else he could soon turn into Quinn's most dubious draft mistake. After all, Juju Smith-Schuster and Alvin Kamara were still on the board when this selection played out. The Detroit Lions are pushing through the off-season. Stay up to date with everything. Take 5 seconds to sign up for our free Detroit Lions newsletter now. 3. Miles Killebrew, S. 3 years into his career, Killebrew looks like a man without a position. He hasn't seen tons of run at safety, and the Lions haven't really worked him into the mix at any other position on the field as of yet. He's been passed by others on the roster in Quandre Diggs, and the Lions have another young player coming up in Tracy Walker. It's a vital off-season for Killebrew to step up and make something happen. The Lions missed on names like Jordan Howard and Pharaoh Cooper later on to pick Killebrew, so he has to develop soon. 4. Antwai Williams, LB. Williams played for a while with the team, but was eventually edged out at linebacker. The hope was that he would get things going much faster than he did, but it never happened and he was sliced from the roster quickly. Teams like to hit on their 5th-round defenders a little more than to see them off the roster in 2 years, so this was a frustrating development. 5. Joe Dahl. G. Dahl was given a big chance to step up a few years back when Taylor Decker got injured, but he was not completely ready. Dahl remains on the roster, but he has been a backup mostly. He has not been mentioned as much of a serious threat to compete for a role with TJ Lang's departure, so it's safe to wonder what his future is in the Motor City. Like many others before him, Dahl was a late-round pick, but it's easy to wish he had developed a little more at this point in time. Let's block ads.